What happens when the owner disguises himself as a customer at his own car dealership? Let's dive in to see. In the heart of a bustling city, there was a man named Royden. Royden had built his life around cars, fast, sleek machines that roared with power and whispered promises of freedom. He owned one of the most successful car dealerships in town, known for its quality vehicles and customer service. But lately, something didn't feel right. Complaints were trickling in about rude salespeople and unfair deals. Royden knew he needed answers, but how could he find out what was really going on without being seen? So one morning, Royden decided to take matters into his own hands. He put on an old jacket, wore a pair of glasses that made him look completely different, and walked into his dealership as just another customer. No one recognized him, not even his longtime employees, and so began his undercover journey. As Royden entered the showroom, he noticed the gleaming rows of cars lined up perfectly under bright lights. A young salesman approached him immediately, introducing himself as Calvin. "Good morning, sir," Calvin said with a wide smile. "How can I assist you today?" Royden played along, pretending to be unsure. "Well, I'm looking for something reliable, maybe a family car." Calvin nodded enthusiastically. "We've got some great options here. Follow me." As they moved through the showroom, Royden listened carefully to every word Calvin said. At first, everything seemed fine, polite explanations, detailed descriptions of features, but then came the moment that caught Royden off guard. While discussing prices, Calvin casually mentioned, "You know, these days, customers don't always get the best deal unless they fight for it. Some people walk away empty-handed because they're too afraid to negotiate." Hearing this broke Royden inside. This wasn't the kind of business practice he wanted to run. He believed in fairness and transparency, yet here was someone working under his roof, promoting dishonesty. It stung, but Royden kept his cool. He thanked Calvin and told him he'd think about it. The next day, still dressed as a stranger, Royden returned to the dealership. This time, he chose a different path. Instead of speaking directly with the sales team, he sat quietly in the waiting area where customers often gathered while their paperwork was processed. There he overheard two men talking. One of them, a middle-aged man named Darrell, spoke bitterly. "I came here yesterday hoping to buy a new car, but those guys tried to rip me off." His voice cracked with frustration. "They added extra charges I didn't agree to, and when I questioned them, they acted like it was my fault." Darrell's friend, Trent, patted him on the back sympathetically. "It happens all the time. You have to stand your ground or they'll take advantage of you." Listening to this conversation filled Royden with sadness. These weren't just numbers or transactions. These were real people whose trust he had failed to protect. For the first time, he realized the impact of poor practices within his own business. It wasn't just about profit. It was about treating others with respect and honesty. But the biggest twist came later that afternoon. While wandering near the service bay, Royden met a mechanic named Landon. Unlike the rest of the staff, Landon stood out. He greeted Royden warmly and offered advice about maintaining a vehicle. Their conversation turned personal, and Landon opened up about his struggles. "I love working here," Landon admitted softly, "but sometimes it feels like we're losing sight of why we do this. We fix cars, sure, but we also help people. If we lose that connection, what's the point?" Those words hit Royden hard. Here was a man who truly cared about his job and the customers, yet somehow the system had let him down too. That night, Royden couldn't sleep. The weight of what he'd discovered pressed heavily on his chest. He thought about Calvin's tactics, Darrell's anger, and Landon's passion. Each memory tugged at his heartstrings. The next morning, Royden called an emergency meeting with his entire team. Standing before them, he spoke from the soul. "For years, I've worked hard to build this dealership into something special. But recently, I've realized we've drifted far from our original mission. Somewhere along the way, we forgot the importance of integrity and kindness." He paused, letting his words sink in. "From now on, things will change. No more hidden fees, no more pressuring customers into bad deals. We're here to serve, not exploit. And if anyone disagrees with this approach, maybe this isn't the place for them." There was silence in the room, followed by murmurs of agreement. Calvin looked uncomfortable, but Landon smiled brightly. Over the following weeks, Royden implemented new policies, trained his staff differently, and encouraged open communication. Slowly but surely, the dealership transformed. Months later, Royden received a letter from Darrell. Inside it read, "Thank you for making such positive changes. My experience at your dealership has been completely different this time. It's refreshing to know that businesses still care about doing the right thing." Reading those words brought tears to Royden's eyes. He understood then that success wasn't measured by sales figures alone. True fulfillment came from knowing he'd made a difference in someone else's life. From that day forward, Royden vowed to lead with compassion, proving that even in the toughest industries, kindness could triumph. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If you'd like to show some extra love, tap the 3 dots near the share button and send a super thanks.